All right, to get this project set up, we first need to make sure our project files are all inside of our folder that we need. So the first thing that we need to go is we need to go to Student Groups, Career and Technical, go to our Dropbox, just like you normally navigate to, and in Period 6, okay, under your folder, you need to create a new folder called Unit 5 Basic Editing. If you don't have it, you click up here on the little folder icon, or you can hit Control-Shift-N, gets you a new folder, either way. So we click up here for a new folder, or we click down here, and we call it Unit 5 Basic Editing. The next thing that we need to do is we need to get some files to put in there, because right now it should be empty, except if you're me, then you have some things in there. So you're going to go back to Career, you're going to go back to Chapman, but instead of going to your Dropbox, you're going to go to Resources. And in the Resources, you're going to click on Editing Samples. All right, you're going to select all of these files. Either click on the top one, hold down Shift, and click on the last one, or you drag off to the side and you click on. Then you're going to right click. You're going to right click, and then you're going to press Copy. You're going to go back to your Dropbox. Go back to that folder that you created. Okay, Unit 5 Basic Editing, and you're going to right click Paste. And it's going to copy all of those files from the resource into there. This is what we're going to be doing our editing with. So we're going to open up Premiere now. Okay, we're going to start. We should already have a new project, so let me close this down. Open up a new project. Let me delete these two. No, let me delete that one. Okay, should be opening soon. There we go. Okay, so here we have our Premiere. We have to do it in Premiere. We're going to click New Project. We're going to call it first name, last name, Unit 5 Basic Editing. We're going to click OK. All right, so now we are in our workspace. There are a couple workspaces that we're going to use. We're going to use Assembly Workspace. If we click on there, it's going to change our workspace layout, or it should. So we have our workspace Assembly and Editing. Okay, and you can switch it and change the layout. Assembly is where you import files. Editing is where you edit the files that you imported. And of course, we know the Effects tab is where you add effects to your clips. We won't be using that one for this project. So before we go any further, we're going to file Save As. Okay, we need to make sure we go to your Dropbox, and we're going to go to that Unit 5 Editing, and you're going to save it there. So I already have it, so I'm just going to click Save. It's going to ask me to overwrite, and I say yes. So now, how do we get files in? So we're going to go to Assembly. You don't have to go to Assembly, but it's a good idea. It just gets you a cleaner workspace. You can also do this in editing. And we're going to import files. We're going to go to File, Import, or you can just press Control and the I key on your keyboard. So we're going to go navigate to our Dropbox where we had in Student Groups, where we copied all of those files over. Okay, and the reason you do this is it helps keep a clean workspace so you're not depending upon other files. Okay, so you have a copy of your own files in your folder to work off of. You're not working off somebody else's that is also trying to access all of those. So you select them all, however you want to do it. Make a rectangle, click on the top one, hold down the Shift, and then you click Open. And that's going to put them all into this little container down here. Importing, importing. All right, so then you have that. To actually edit a clip or to look at it, okay, you obviously want to start in some sort of logical sequence. So I'm going to start with the first file, which is 00. I'm going to double click it. As long as you're in the editing workspace, okay, it brings it up in the source clip. So you're going to want to preview it so you know where to cut in and out. So first of all, we're going to look at it. Okay, action is where I typically want to start my endpoint. Go back to find action.
Action.
So right there, I want to click either this button right here, the mark in, Okay, it sets it in, and then I'm going to continue watching. I can scrub through, preview it. Okay, so that's where it falls apart, so we don't want to use that stuff, so I'm going to back up, and I'm going to set the out point using this key, or the O key. Alright, then I'm going to drag it to my timeline, and it only will put in the stuff that I set the in and out to. Alright, so you can need to watch all of these clips so you can get a good idea of what the director is trying to do, so you can tell a good story. Alright, so how do we edit? So let's watch this next clip. We have 0, 0. Let's go find 0, 1. Okay, and it looks like 0, 1 is just the reverse, the other side of the person sitting at the computer. So let's find the action point.
Action.
So I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to set the in. We're going to watch, see what happens in the scene.
Hey.
Alright, so that's about all I want. So I'm going to set the out point, and I'm going to drag it to my timeline. You have different options of where you want to put it. Okay, but I typically do it after there, or you can put it right above it. Alright, so that's that part. So now, let's talk about editing. How do we cut this clip without dragging it? Yeah, I could drag this into where I want it, but there's a much easier tool to use. So let's see, watch this first clip. Okay, there she is, she gets up, okay, and then we pan back.
Hey.
And we see her walking. But I want to get a different side of that shot, maybe give the viewer a different angle of view and bring them into the scene a little bit more. So I'm going to back it up to right here. She's pushing in the chair. So I'm going to go to my razor blade, okay, which is the razor tool. So I can either press C on the keyboard, or I can click it right there. So I'm going to cut that part. Then I'm going to go back to my selection tool by either clicking here or pressing V, and I'm just going to delete this part. I don't want this part anymore, so it's gone. I'm going to drag this part down to that line, and then we're going to watch this clip. So if we look this one, she's pushing in her chair. So watching this clip, pushing in her chair. So I want to cut this part out, the first part out, because I don't want her sitting at the computer. I already have it in this shot. So we're going to click there, press V, select that part, delete, and then drag it over, and it automatically stops for you. So now let's watch my scene. Okay, and then she walks back, so I'm done. I don't want that. I can't see the dialogue, so I don't want that part. So I'm going to press C again, bring up my razor blade, slice that part, press V, select that part, and click delete. So now that's 8 seconds. So far she's getting up, and then she's going to walk back. Alright, so now let's find another clip to use. Okay, so let's click on this second one. But actually, let's find the rest of her scene. Alright, so after watching that, I would know that it is scene 7, or clip 7. Okay, so now let's watch it.
Action.
So I want to cut that there.
It's barely open.
Hey.
So clearly we want to see her coming in frame. So maybe I want to set the end point there.
Hey.
Hey there.
After that, the other guy acted
let me-
so we don't want that part. So we're going to back it up. So I only want her saying hey.
Hey.
I'm going to set out. Okay? Then I'm going to just drag this clip right there. So I'm going to do the rest of her dialogue scenes, okay, and put them in to the timeline.
Hey.
Alright, so let's go watch this and let's do the rest of her.
Let me.
Alright, so hopefully we get some other clips here. So, luckily, you get to watch.
Hey there.
and you
Let
can
me go
play.
by. I have to leave the classroom. Why?
Wait.
Why not?
Okay. Action.
Hey.
Hey there.
Let me go by. I have to leave the classroom.
Alright, so we gotta stop. Let's go find the part where we want.
Hey.
Hey there.
Let me.
So she's gonna start saying, let me go by. So I'm gonna cut that.
Let me go by. I have to leave the classroom.
She stops there. Okay, I don't want his dialogue in there, so I'm going to back it up, and then I'm going to set the out, and I'm going to drag the clip down there. All right, so we're going to leave some, so we'll leave it there.
Let me go by. I have to leave the classroom.
All right, so now let's watch the rest of the clip, see what else we can get.
You can't.
Why not?
So we don't want his lines, we want her lines.
What?
So we're back it up just a little bit, set the in,
Why
why
not?
not, stop, set the out, drag it on down. We're going to repeat this process until we get all of her lines done. Then we're going to go find the rest of him. So we want to be on the same side. This is called the 180-degree rule. You want to be on the same side of the actor. So we're facing this, so we don't want these ones because it switches sides and then that kind of confuses people. But we want this side of the other actor, okay, so that we can have a sense of continuity. So double click. Again, I don't want her lines, I want his lines.
Action.
Hey.
So she said, hey, so I'm going to back it up.
Hey there.
Hey.
So I'm going to stop after she says, hey, set the in.
Hey there.
After he says his line, set the out, drag it. So I want it above her line, her first line. So I'm going to drag these ones out of the way. All right, so now it's going to go,
Hey.
hey,
Hey there.
Let me.
and then her other line. So after she says her line, we're going to put in her other line.
Let me buy. I have to leave the classroom.
So she said her line. Now we're going to get his line.
You can't.
Says his line, set it, drag it in, set it above. All right.
Hey there.
Let me go by. I have to leave the classroom.
You can't.
Okay, her other line is,
Why not?
why not? Now, let's finish watching.
Why not?
Because there's a bear on the other side.
So,
Because there's
Why not?
because
Why not?
all right, so she says her line, set it in.
because there's a bear on the other side.
He says his line, set it out, and then drag, oops, Control Z.
You can't.
Why not?
Back it up, do it again.
Because there's a bear on the other side.
Space, clip, drag it down. Okay, so this is how it kind of is going to go.
Hey.
Hey there.
Let me go by. I have to leave the classroom.
You can't.
Why not?
Because there's a bear on the other side.
All right, so that is a successful edit. So a couple of things that I want to go over with you, besides the two tools, selection tool by pressing V or clicking, or C to cut it, okay, is also how to zoom in. So you can click on these bars down on this line down here and drag the points further, that zooms it out. Drag them closer, that zooms it in. You can also do the same thing by holding the Alt key and scrolling up on the mouse to zoom in, or down on the mouse to zoom out. Up or down. All right? Those are some basic tools that you need to be an efficient editor.